Good to see you guys. I want to quickly thank you for this Crackle franchise and family, because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have it. So, quick shout out to y'all. Love you guys. Lessons from your characters just growing up, and it's been applied to my real life and been turned out the way that I am because of it. So I was just wondering, whenever your children watch the show, what is a trait that you hope that they learn from your characters, and just overall arching the show, what do you hope that they learn?
I would say for my kids, it's not going to be anything practical, like, this is how you behead someone or something. Useful. Yeah, the real world, tangible stuff, but more on the kind of philosophical life course and character building front. I think that the characters in Supernatural that we got to know over time had this one persistent guiding compass, which was they're always trying to do the right thing. They're always, they often make mistakes, they often make compromises or deals with the devil, and often make the wrong choice, but they're trying their hardest to do the right thing, and they're willing to make great personal sacrifices in service of the forces of good, and also in service of family. And that, I think, is like the guiding light of that show for me. It's one of the things that I took inspiration from, just thinking about my own character, but also Sam and me. It's like Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth kind of stuff. It's like it's that hero story. And I think it's actually important. My kids haven't yet watched Supernatural because I still don't want them to grow up and be serial killers. But they're like getting to that age where they're chomping at the bit. Like, Dad, when can we do it? When can we watch Supernatural? And I'm like, I don't know, I have 4 years. But I'm actually looking forward to watching it with them sometime soon.
Along the same lines, I think that the selflessness that these characters showed through the years of putting, like Misha, putting the greater good ahead of themselves. Their loyalty to family, their loyalty to the good fight, never giving up, not only to do that, but never giving up on each other, no matter the struggle. And I think that that's a very resounding theme in this show, is that determination to never let the other one down, and to fight with everything you have for the people you love, and even sometimes for the people who need help, or largely for the people who need help. I think that's one thing that I love about the brothers and Cass and Bobby and all of the kind of the team, is that they were all fighting not for themselves, they were fighting for something greater than themselves. And I think that's just a really beautiful way to look at life, is to be selfless and to fight for the people that can't fight for themselves.
For better and for worse. So.
You're welcome, I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Kai, and my question for you is, what advice would you give to a person who trained as a vocalist performer to get into the film industry?
Use your voice.
I just got an email a few days ago from an old friend who has a niece who's just graduated from theater school and wants to become an actress, and ask for my advice on how to break into the business. But when I first started acting, they didn't have sound yet. And I realized, like, I know what I did 20 years ago, but I actually don't know what the landscape looks like now. I do think that there's one pervasive piece of advice that I think applies to across the arts, which is make it about the process and not about the product. Don't be chasing, like, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna make this money, I'm gonna get this recognition. If you have the mindset of the thing, the goal that you're trying to achieve somewhere in the future, then you're probably going to have a much harder time at success than if you just face every day of rehearsing alone in your room as satisfaction in and of itself. Like, the road that you travel is actually a reward, and if you actually develop that mindset, then the rewards naturally come. I think that's true.
It's preparation meets opportunity, right? So, and it's also, I think, in this industry, because this isn't like any other industry, this isn't like a business industry where you go to school, you learn a set of tools, and you go and you find yourself in the bottom rung of a workplace, and then, you know, slowly climb that ladder to success. There's no real guide or ladder in the entertainment industry. Some people shoot straight to the top immediately, overnight, and some people grind it out and never make it up at all. And then there's a lot of in between. And so I think that it's a game of numbers. The more you do it, the more you put yourself out there, the more you take this journey, the longer that journey is, the rewards will come. And sometimes, you know, you pick your head up, like Jerry and Misha and I did years ago. We're like, oh, people are actually watching this show. We were very, very focused on just getting the work done, doing the work. Now, that's another thing is, you know, once you get on set, or once you get a job, or once you get a gig, or once you get inside a door where you have those opportunities, you just do the work. And then when you walk off that set, there's nothing I can do anymore. I did what I did, and now it's up to somebody else to take it from there. I ran my race, I ran my leg of the race, and I handed the baton off at the end of that day, and now I gotta focus on the next day. I go into an audition, I go into a meeting, thinking the same thing. That meeting's over, that audition's done, I'm like, okay, what's next? Because now it's out of my hands. So if you sit there and just stare at the phone, like I made a mistake of doing early on, that's the worst thing you can do. So just keep pushing, keep doing things that flex that muscle, and that artistic muscle, and you'll be surprised at where you end up.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Kira. And,
Woo, Kira, yeah!
yeah, thanks. My question is, what is something that is unique and exciting and maybe even fun or entertaining about you that you also feel maybe insecure about? So if you need an example, I'll give you mine, but.
Please, yes.
So my example is when I was born, my right eye hadn't grown all the way, so I've had an artificial eye my whole life. And it's fun because, I'm sorry if this is too much, but I can pop it out and have a lot of fun with it. And, you know,
I hate to ask, but
you know what? Well,
You've done this to yourself.
I will actually pop it out if we are near a sink.
near a sink.
Yeah, you get a
Can we get a sink up here?
I would happily do that, absolutely. Because I love doing it. I did it all through high school. I would like meet people in the back of the building. There are children in the audience, and I need
But you know what? Is it
for
great?
to pop it out for
We can just say, close your
This is
eyes.
how they learn.
So here's the thing, I love it, right? This is amazing. However, I hate how I look in pictures because my eyes are always going two different ways. So like the picture that Jensen and I took today, I'm getting a very aggressive hug. It is extremely cute, but my eyes are doing this.
Why didn't you tell me? Because I could have done this. I could have eaten like here and then. Come on, I can play that game too.
You know what? Indianapolis, we'll do that.
Done. Why don't we turn the lights on? Nobody needs to see that again.
Turn the lights, turn the lights. They're bringing the signal.
They're bringing the cup. No, we're not doing that. We're not taking off appendages and eyeballs.
Just maybe later.
Okay, cool. So you're asking if we have an amazing party trick?
Yeah.
Misha, you're bound to have some party tricks.
Well, I'm trying to follow the thread of your question, and I don't know that there's something about, I don't have any artificial body parts. Oh yeah, I do. I have artificial hips, but I can't pop those out. So it's not
Oh,
very
you could.
Yeah, it would
You don't want to.
very gruesome. What do you think I was gonna do? I'm telling you.
I'm so scared right now.
When I first started auditioning, I had this audition for, I'm gonna go back a step here. I went to a school that was founded in, a high school that was founded in 1898, and it had 1,200 students, and every year they did a fitness test. And when I did my fitness test in the 1990s, I was the most flexible boy in the history of the school. I could reach my elbows to my toes. And so I was driving out of town to go on a camping trip, and I got this call for an audition. It was an audition for the show called Nip Tuck. It was for a role that it was a yoga instructor who was very well endowed and very flexible, and I was like, check. And I was like, I saw the script.
Jensen's not sure about the first one.
I mean, you must have been your parish's favorite altar boy. That's... Oh, that's too far?
Yeah.
Really? That's the line?
That is really,
On the line?
really inappropriate, Jensen. Disgusting. I'm sorry, everyone. So when I saw this material, for this
Fine,
guy
Boy
that
Scout.
stopped
I mean,
himself
what?
off. There's so many institutions.
just...
You can, I was like, oh, this is my role. And I went and they had me do an audition, and it was for, there were like 7 or 8 people in the room, producers, directors, casting director, and they were like, I read the sides, and then they said, do you think you could do these lines in the pose? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I actually can do that. I started the audition with that, I actually am very flexible.
You guys know what a casting couch is? Just want to get context.
And so we do the scene again, but this time I am on my shoulders and my crotch is in my face. I'm upside down, and it's And unfortunately, it took me like 2 lines into it to realize, oh my God, what have I done with my life? It was just so deeply mortifying, and yet, it got me the job. I don't know, that's as close as I can come to answering your question.
I'm not touching that. What's my part?
Yeah, what's your part here?
There you go. Didn't give me a role.
Thank you so much.
Would a bowl of water suffice?
Actually, yes, but again, not in front of the whole entire audience.
Oh, okay.
Only because I know.
You don't want to make them feel inferior. I know.
If he shows you his pose, because I'm pretty sure everyone's eyes would pop out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we can move on now. Hello.
Hi. How are you guys?
Sweating.
Not great.
First off, I'd like to say, Misha, your show was amazing.
Thank you.
Wasn't expecting the ending, but, you know.
What's that?
Wasn't expecting the ending.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Mistakes were made.
What happened at the end?
I had this climax story.
Were you wearing yoga pose?
You don't want to hear the story.
Okay, so the question is, so we all know that this is a French mistake. So, so they came into this world. If you guys were to go into the supernatural world, how would your characters react?
Our characters being just ourselves, how would we react being in the supernatural universe?
Yeah, like Kaz and you would react to you guys.
Oh, you mean how would like Sam and Dean and Cass react to Jensen and Misha, actual Jensen and Misha?
Yes.
I think they'd be pretty impressed. Dare I say intimidating.
Dean would be like, well, there's no helping those guys. Yeah, I don't think they would give us a second look. I think it would be, this is what would happen. They'd be walking down the street, Dean, Sam, Cass, and they would walk past a yoga studio. And Dean would look in and what is that man doing? And Cass would go, I think it's called yoga. And Dean would say, yeah, looks a lot like you. And that's about all that happened.
Thank you.
It's the last question. Come on, let's go. It's the last question. Come on, do the high. It's the last question. 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 Probably should have had it.
He's over here on Baba Huggy, and that's what makes you push back at.
That's not what we should, that's not what we should do with it.
Yeah, that's a bionic hip lifting you over that chair, man. Yeah.